What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Leslie Liao with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen visited the southern city of Kaohsiung on Friday for the handover of the country's latest domestically produced warship. With a displacement of over 10,000 tons, the Yusan is the first in its class and will be used to carry supplies and personnel to Taiwan's outlying islands. In wartime, it can move large numbers of troops and military equipment like tanks and armored vehicles. Tsai says the new ship demonstrates the resolve of Taiwan's Navy.
我听说我们海军官兵自愿请调到玉山军舰，就是希望能够接受接舰的任务的挑战，来提升专业能力。
The president of Paraguay has told the Financial Times he wants $1 billion in Taiwanese investment to maintain diplomatic ties. Taiwan's foreign ministry says this is just a call for investment and that relations are stable. But analysts say that the public nature of the request may be meant to send a warning. John Van Trieste has more.
Just days after calling for Taiwan's inclusion in the UN, and with 65 years of ties between them, the president of Paraguay, Mario Abdo Benitez, wants more from the relationship. He's now calling on Taiwan to invest $1 billion as he faces growing pressure to sever ties and recognize Beijing. In a Financial Times article, Abdo said Taiwan invests much higher sums in countries that aren't its allies. He said his government wants to make bilateral ties more worthwhile to ordinary Paraguayans, especially farmers who are shut out of the Chinese market. Abdo is a vocal supporter of Taiwan, and Taiwan's foreign ministry says that's not about to change.
他在专访的时候，他强调的是说，巴拉圭的投资的条件非常的优异，所以他希望台商呢能够借由这个巴拉圭投资。 去进军到南美的市场，任内两国的邦谊不会改变。
The ministry says there is no quid pro quo with Paraguay, and Paraguay's foreign minister has said shared values, not money, are the basis of ties. But some analysts say Abdo may be sending Taiwan a warning by making his request openly in the press.
我们还是要去理解他整个谈话后面一个大的背景，或是这样的一个要求，是不是其实早就对我们政府提出来，但是可能是因为一些原因而没有办法实现，他才会透过在外媒专访的场合里面把它讲出来。
Paraguay is by far the largest of the 14 countries that still recognize Taiwan. If it cuts ties with Taiwan, it will be the 9th country to do so since Tsai Ing-wen took office in 2016. The pressure Abdo says he's under in Paraguay shows that China's efforts to expand its influence are not slowing down. Damon Lin and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
America's ambassador to China, Nicholas Burns, has said U.S. policy toward Taiwan has not changed, adding that Chinese actions are threatening peace in the Taiwan Strait. Burns made the comments to a Milken Institute event in Singapore, during which he also criticized what he called Beijing's overreaction to Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan last month. Analysts have debated whether U.S. policy on Taiwan had changed after President Joe Biden publicly stated Washington would defend Taiwan against a Chinese invasion. Beijing lodged what it called stern representations with the U.S. after Biden's comments and said it damaged U.S.-China relations. But at the Milken Institute event, Burns said it was China that was changing the status quo in the Taiwan Strait.
That's the party that's changing things. And our message to the Chinese privately, as well as publicly over the last 2 months is, we're not going to go along with this. And we're going to try to reinforce the status quo in the Taiwan Strait that's kept the peace for 60 years. I actually don't think the Chinese have any misunderstanding of U.S. policy. They don't agree with our policy, but we've been clear about the one China policy.
American biotech company Moderna has set up a subsidiary in Taiwan to expand its local presence. The company is one of the leading producers of mRNA-type vaccines for COVID-19. Joyce Lee, head of the new subsidiary, says Moderna hopes to work with Taiwan's private and public sectors as well as academia. Lee says mRNA-based drugs offer new ways to treat a number of conditions, including cancer, infectious diseases, cardiovascular, and autoimmune diseases. The company hopes to bring these treatments to Taiwan in the future. Moderna is expanding its business in the Asia-Pacific region. In addition to Taiwan, the company earlier this year announced plans to set up subsidiaries in Singapore, Hong Kong, and Malaysia. Taiwan's quarantine hotels are getting ready to go back to normal. Taiwan is phasing out quarantine for new arrivals on October 13th. That means Taiwan's 308 quarantine hotels with their more than 20,000 rooms will be reopening to ordinary travelers. The government is offering hotels operators subsidies of around $160 per room to help make up for lost revenue. Many hotels are already looking forward to the return of regular tourists.
我们目前的话，预计大概出估大概在500万以内，当然还是乐观其成，一定会站在5成以上啦。
A former magistrate of Nantou County in central Taiwan has been found guilty of an additional 81 counts of corruption and sentenced to a combined 400 years in prison. On Thursday, the Taichung branch of Taiwan's High Court sentenced 72-year-old Li Caoqing for crimes including soliciting bribes for reconstruction projects in the county following a devastating typhoon. He can appeal this latest ruling. Li led the county from 2005 to 2012, representing the Kuomintang. The case has been ongoing for more than 8 years, and Li was previously found guilty of 17 counts of corruption. The cumulative prison term of 400 years is the longest sentence ever handed down to a local government head for corruption in Taiwan. A U.S. report has labeled Taiwanese seafood products as goods produced by forced labor for the second consecutive time. Taiwan's distant water fishing fleet has long been criticized by rights groups for its treatment of fishermen from mostly Southeast Asian countries. The U.S. Department of Labor's latest report says workers are recruited by agencies that sometimes deceive them about wages. Workers' identity documents are often confiscated, and they can work up to 22 hours a day. The U.S. first included Taiwanese seafood on its list of goods produced by forced labor in 2020. Taiwan's fisheries agency says it will continue to work to improve conditions for migrant fishermen. A Pokemon-themed plane belonging to Taiwan's flag carrier, China Airlines, took off on its maiden flight on Friday morning. It's the country's last flight to nowhere before it scraps quarantine requirements next month. I got up bright and early and checked it out. It's 7:50 in the morning and I'm at Taiyuan International Airport. It may be early, but you know what? You can feel the electricity in the air because people are lining up for a very special flight. The China Airlines Pokemon plane is about to take its maiden voyage. Where's it going? Absolutely nowhere. When the COVID-19 pandemic first started nearly 3 years ago, Taiwan closed its borders. That made international travel in and out of the country next to impossible. To give people the travel experience, airlines in Taiwan pushed out so-called flights to nowhere. People got on planes, flew around for a little bit, and then landed in the same place. Starting Sunday, there's going to be daily flights between Taipei and Tokyo. Tickets are already sold out through most of November and December. And just like that, Taiwan's travel industry is blasting off again. Asnaya Zhou, Maggie May, and Leslie Liao at Taiyuan International Airport. Mulas, a Formosan black bear that was rescued as a cub, has been caught on camera for the first time since she was released into the wild more than 2 years ago. A camera set up in a forest in southeastern Taiwan's Taidong County caught Mulas on video. All grown up now, she appeared healthy and has also found a playmate. Mulas was discovered as a cub in a village in Taidong in 2019. She had become separated from her mother. The local forestry bureau took care of her before releasing her back into the forest the following year. The Formosan black bear is a rare species with a conservation status of vulnerable. It is considered a symbol of Taiwan. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of a digital art exhibition created by multimedia artist Diana Sinclair at Christie's Auction House in New York. I'm Leslie Liao. Take care and see you next time.